I was asked earlier how long this is going to be, and Frank and I haven't timed it. So, but it feels long. So I'm going to try to read fast. I really am very thankful for all of you coming tonight. I appreciate it very much, and I want to thank Senator Adams for making the time to come out tonight. It's always good to see you, and Councilman Obie, thank you very much for coming down. Councilman Cox, thank you very much for coming down. I appreciate it very much. It's very important to me that some of our municipal and governmental partners will come and take part and listen and see what we have going on. So I appreciate that very much. Sing a song full of faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Familiar to anybody? I know that it is. In this historic month of February, the words from the beloved spiritual have special meaning. And tonight, in this city that we love so well, may the harmonies of liberty ring loud and ring true. The harmonies of liberty could be heard very loudly on November 11th, when we celebrated the opening of the John McCants Veterans Park. As proud as I know John McCants would have been on that day, he would have been even prouder 3 months later, because 3 months later, we know that on any given day, at any given time, at any given daylight hour, families from all walks of life are in the park. They're there from Boulder Bluff and Brickhope. They're there from Red Bank Road and Crowfield Boulevard. They're there, enjoying the park. Some are there for play, some are for exercise, some for fellowship, and some to reflect on the life of a military hero. What a wonderful addition to our city that park has been and will continue to be moving forward. What a difference it's already made, and what a tribute to John McCants, a leader whose presence I can feel with us tonight. And perhaps the best thing about the Veterans Park is this. That park is just the beginning of what I believe will be one of the most exciting eras in the city's history. In 2022, in every conceivable way, our city is poised for greatness. For as much as we have accomplished in the past 12 months, it pales in comparison to what is about to come. My fellow residents, tonight, enthusiastically, I report to you that the state of the 8th largest city in South Carolina is strong. We know what we are, Shakespeare wrote, but we know not what we may be. We know what we are, but we know not what we may be. So let's talk about for a minute of what we do know. We know that Goose Creek keeps its residents safe. Our police officers are respected and trusted because they have the respect and trust of our residents, and they respect and trust our residents. Trust isn't automatic, it's not a given, trust is earned. Our police department works hard to reach out to the community to which it belongs. There are no sides in Goose Creek. We're all on the same side in Goose Creek. I believe an effective police department is a department heavily involved in its community. The Goose Creek Police Department, under the leadership of Chief Roscoe, is continuing its commitment to community policing. A 5K race in the summer that raises money for Shop with a Badge in the winter when officers make Christmas a magic reality for many, many children. A safe and fun Halloween event that started big and has grown even bigger. A National Night Out celebration, our Citizen Police Academy. And if you haven't signed up for Cop Stop, please do so. The support of our police department from our citizens does not go unnoticed. But more importantly, when our citizens and our officers take the time to get to know one another, our community is safer. And if there's a better police on social media presence in the state, I'd like to see it. I won't be surprised if I turn up later and Chief Roscoe's made a TikTok while we've been standing here tonight. In addition to our commitment to community policing, City Council has shown its commitment to the safety of our citizens by investing in our police department. When I became mayor in 2018, we had 71 sworn officer positions. Today we have 82. And while there may still be work to do, we have addressed pay for our officers, continuing to ensure competitiveness in our field. In fact, with the help of our HR department, led by Hillary Van Orsdell, 79 of our 82 positions are filled, and there are more hires in the pipeline. In virtually every category where records are kept, our police statistics are continuing to trend in the right direction. In the past year, the reported number of vehicle break-ins is down by 46%. Home break-ins are down by 23%. Car vandalism down by 10%. Make no mistake, regardless of what, I say parenthetically, regardless of what Facebook tells you, the efforts of our police department to be involved in our community and the commitment of our city council to the safety of our citizens has resulted in reduced crime in Goose Creek. And I'll also add, at a time where we're adding residents on virtually a daily basis. Now, I realize that when you're the victim of a crime, you obviously don't feel like crime is down. We want to ensure our citizens, we investigate every lead, we examine all of the evidence, we do everything we can to solve every crime. In fact, in 2021, we made 16 arrests in car break-in cases. And those arrested were responsible for multiple of those break-ins, if not the vast majority. We can't solve them all, but we're working on it, and I'm proud of our diligent effort, the diligent effort that our team puts into every crime. There's another stat I want you guys to be aware of. The number of traffic accidents in the area of St. James Avenue, where the new medians are, in 2019, it was 229, with 104 injuries involved. In 2020, the number went down to 181. And in 2021, with the implementation of the medians taking up much of the year, the number of accidents dropped to 157, with only 67 involving injuries. It's not written here, but I will tell you, the complaining about the medians is certainly an interesting one. But the results prove out folks were right. What else do we know about the city of Goose Creek? We know that the best fire department in the Low Country, if not in the state of South Carolina, is based at 201 Button Hall Avenue, in a fire complex that remains the envy of the region. You all may recall at this time last year, we had just hired Chief Nixon away from Portland, Maine, to be our fire chief. His impact has certainly been felt over the last 12 months. In that time, the Goose Creek Fire Department became a training center for the National Association of Emergency Medical Technicians, fulfilling our duty as a leader in our region. 4 of Goose Creek Fire Department employees became affiliate faculty for the American Heart Association. This allows us to train new instructors in Goose Creek and statewide, again, fulfilling our duty as a leader in the region. The Goose Creek Fire Department successfully administered and completed its first Tactical Emergency Combat Care course. This allows us to be more prepared in response to global terrorism. We trained dispatch and CPR so they could receive their EMD certification, and we networked and trained with other EMS agencies all around the Low Country. In the past year, the Goose Creek Fire Department delivered over 300 hours of EMS training. We increased capabilities with adding ventilators and IV pumps to ambulances. We received Polaris to increase our capabilities for PR events and off-road emergencies. That's a lot, and it is evidence and illustrates us continuing to move forward and equip our men and women of the fire department with the best available. Many of you have heard me say how important our collaboration is with our governmental partners. I'm very proud that we've expanded that collaboration with Berkeley County in 2021. And I can't thank them enough. Not only did they provide us with a brand new ambulance, but in order to provide better care for our citizens and citizens in and around our city, we stood up a primetime ambulance in the city of Goose Creek for the first time. I want to thank Supervisor Cribb and all of County Council for their cooperation and their trust in us to provide that service. Community engagement doesn't stop at the police department either. Under Chief Nixon's guidance, the fire department has undertaken a long-range fire marshal inspection program that will make our city safer. Each shift is responsible for conducting business inspections every week. This ensures the safety of our commercial buildings. It also puts our firefighters in a building before they actually have to be in it for a fire. And moreover, it engages our firefighters with our community and our community with them. Communication like this creates a safer city. And finally, Chief Nixon's department received the 2021 Communication Service Award from the Goose Creek chapter of the NAACP at the branch's 2021 Freedom Awards Fund Award ceremony. And apart from all of that, the Goose Creek Fire Department keeps us safe. I want to thank Chief Nixon and his entire team for the work that they continue to put in. As we talk about our brave first responders, both at the fire and police departments, I know that providing updated information on the latest statistics is important to a lot of residents and myself. So I'm pleased to announce tonight that beginning next week, the city will have a new monthly update on our website. cityofgoosecreek.com will share the latest crime data as well as pertinent data from the fire department. Please watch our website and social media pages for updates on that information. And again, I say parenthetically, please get your information from us off the website and not from the Facebook. What else do we know about Goose Creek in 2022? We know that our new Assistant City Administrator, Brian Cook, where's Brian? There's Brian, has revamped a major portion of the city's administration responsibilities and created a new streamlined department that will make it easier for the public to interact and do business in the city of Goose Creek. Creek Compass is the name of the department that combines planning and zoning, GIS, permitting, and code enforcement. In a very real way, it brings our business-friendly motto to life. It has allowed us to be more responsive to civilian concerns as well. When a resident calls with a concern, their expectation is to get help. That's my expectation too. And no mention of city services can be made without bringing up our Department of Public Works. Through rain and snow and sleet and hail, through pandemics, through every challenge they've been thrown, our sanitation department keeps on picking up your trash every day. And I might say they do it better than the post office when it comes to rain and sleet and snow and the like. As I've said before, is there a more important job your city does? Our Public Works Department is led by Director Chuck Denson. Chuck is here tonight. Thank you, Chuck, who continues to do an outstanding job. And in addition to his usual good work, his department recently received a $500,000 grant used to replace the water main on Tammy Drive and that had numerous failures over the last few years. DPW also replaced the water main on Vine Street to increase fire protection. Tonight, I am excited to announce something that we've been working on for just a minute, and it's a new app that'll be unveiled by our Public Works Department in the next month that will allow residents to more easily report issues to the city. Around the clock, you'll be able to put your complaints, put your needs, put your wants in, and they'll be read by people in the department, get them out, and be served in a very expedient way. Watch our website and social media pages for more details about this exciting addition to our public service outreach. Essentially, we want to make it easier for you to communicate to us. We want to make it easier for us to get the information and then take that information and make action out of it. And if we know anything about 2022, we know that our hard work is paying off on the economic development front as well. 3 years ago, our fire department left a frankly dilapidated and out-of-date building on Button Hall Avenue. For the better part of 30 years, this building had housed up to 12 to 14 firefighters at the same time, at a time in a very small place, and it showed. So when it was time for our fire department to move into the palace that is headquarters now, there was a case to be made that the building should simply be torn down. And if not torn down, then at least sold to the highest bidder, whoever that might be. And while there would have been nothing wrong with another Dollar General or perhaps another storage unit, We knew that our residents have asked for something more. And so we took the initiative to make that something more happen. With the help of our partners at CityVolve, we made sure that while the fire station would indeed be sold, it would be sold to someone who could meet a demand our residents have made loud and clear for years and for years and for years. More restaurant choices. Or maybe even a brewery. The thought of a brewery in Goose Creek brought the usual derision from the usual suspects. They said it would never happen. And they were at least partially right. In fact, they reminded me of the quote, "Things do not happen. Things are made to happen." So when they told us not to bother trying, we knew better. But we also knew that the only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. Folks, it took creativity and hard work and a lot of both. And Matt Brady, our economic development director, can attest to that. But as you all know, I hope, our hard work paid off. And tonight, those who said we could never have a brewery in Goose Creek, well, they're probably drowning in their sorrows in a beer right down the road. Because Wide Awake Brewing and Creek City Grill is open for business, and it is open for business in the city of Goose Creek. Tonight, residents who in the past may have had to head to Park Circle are able to stay home in Goose Creek. That's what economic development does. Economic development does not increase traffic. If you're driving, or better yet, walking, to a brewery 2 blocks away from your home, that's decreasing traffic. It's not increasing traffic. If you're having sushi in Goose Creek Village instead of North Charleston, that's decreasing traffic. That is not increasing traffic. If your favorite Aldi store is a half a mile from your home instead of Somerville, that is decreasing traffic. That is not increasing traffic. What about this? What if your job was relocated to Crowfield Industrial Park and your daily commute to Charleston is cut by 45 minutes each way? That is decreasing traffic. That's not increasing traffic. 80,000 cars a day drive through the city of Goose Creek on Highway 52 and 176. 80,000 cars a day drive through our city. They drive through Goose Creek to get somewhere else. What if instead of driving through Goose Creek, they drove to Goose Creek? We're bisected by 2 major U.S. highways. We can't do anything about that. What we can do is continue to work to take advantage of it. An illustration of who's driving through here is a very interesting one. The Publix on St. James Avenue is the 3rd busiest Publix in the state of South Carolina. It had 1.1 million visits in 2021 by 201,000 unique visitors. There's only 47,000 people that live in the city of Goose Creek, and I'm not counting every 3-year-old walking up to Publix by themselves, right? So you got to assume 175, 180,000 people from outside the city of Goose Creek are visiting that Publix every year. I want to remind everyone what I've said a minute ago. Economic development does not cause traffic. Economic development goes where traffic already is. We have to continue to create opportunities for folks to get off the road in Goose Creek and spend their money here. Economic development does 2 important things. It creates diverse revenue to the municipality so that we can meet the needs of our citizens without placing the burden solely on our property owners. And it provides the retail, service, and restaurant opportunities for our citizens to meet their needs within our city. And that's happening more every single day. Off script. Jerry likes it when I go off script. How many of you heard, oh, it's only 10 minutes to North Charleston? I hear that all the time. Well, I don't know when the last time somebody drove to North Charleston was, but it ain't 10 minutes. I often hear people say municipalities want to annex in more homes or build more homes to increase revenue. That's a fallacy. Increased residential neighborhoods that are not accompanied by commercial growth, they do not make us more money. In fact, it costs us more money. And worse than that, it costs us more money. The people who are currently living here and paying taxes here, it costs us more money to have residential growth without commensurate commercial growth. Keep in mind, without another development being approved, there are still over 5,000 homes that are going to be built in the city of Goose Creek if we don't do anything else. They are coming. That's why it's so important now that we are staying ahead of that curve. And because of our hard work, brick and mortar sales in the city of Goose Creek are increasing faster than residential growth. I want to say that again. Retail sales are outpacing the growth of our population. That's a good thing. In fact, it's a crucial thing. Since I became mayor in 2018, residential growth has increased 7.6%, which is fairly significant. But sales growth has increased by 43%. We've gone from $900 million to $1.3 billion from 2018 to 2021 in retail sales in the city of Goose Creek. Now, there are a lot of factors for that, but the biggest one in my estimation is the work that we've put in to create those opportunities for people to spend more of their money here. If you follow our city on social media, you've seen a lot of ribbon cuttings in the past year. In fact, we've welcomed more than a dozen restaurants and specialty shops in the past 12 months alone, with more on the way. Our residents have the opportunity to meet more of their needs now more than they have ever before. You may recall earlier I said there are no sides. We're all on the same side. Let's talk about Red Bank Road. We want to re-envision the existing corridor that is Red Bank Road. Not based on what it's been for 50 years, but what it can be. Over the past 2 months, we've received tremendous feedback from all of you as we imagine together the potential for this already integral part of our city. We want to make it more attractive for continued investment. Like the fire station transformed into a brewery, let's look at Red Bank Road as what it is, yes, but also what it can be. Think of the commercial corridors in the Lowcountry that have been revitalized over the last many years through similar efforts. Look at East Montague down in North Charleston. And most recently, look at Sproul Avenue in North Charleston. Look at the Annandale neighborhood west of the Ashley. There's no reason we can't do the same thing here in the city of Goose Creek on Red Bank Road. Through strategic changes and land use and investments, we can make Red Bank more walkable, pedestrian-friendly, and transform it into a vibrant, culturally rich, and amenity-heavy corridor. In 2022, we also know that because of the steady leadership of our Director of Golf, Troy Sanders, who is here with us tonight, and frankly, because of an unprecedented focus on economic development from our city, the Crowfield Golf Club was in the black. For years, 4 years ago rather, 4 years ago, the golf course's annual revenue was just under $1.2 million. 4 years later, in 2021, golf revenues topped $2 million. And the course finished in the black for the first time in a long time. In fact, the first time since the city owned it. 2 years ago, Council made the concerted effort to make better use of the bar and grill that belongs to all of you, the residents of the city of Goose Creek. Since then, we've hired one of the best chefs in the Lowcountry, stole him away from downtown. Mark Kirkwood is making great food over there at the golf course. Just in the past few weeks, Crowfield announced a new partnership with Wide Awake Brewing that will bring Creek Rising beer and other great craft beers on tap. Those flavors will join an already impressive craft beer selection. But the main reason for the club's success is a staff and crew that frankly is redefining what it means to have a public golf course. I can tell you that the shape we keep that course in rivals some of the best courses in our region. And under Troy's leadership, the golf has become a regular stop for South Carolina Junior Golf Association tournaments and other events. It's hosted a fantastic spring concert series with our rec department, and it has blossomed. We can't say it enough. Crowfield Golf belongs to and is open to every resident in the city of Goose Creek. And Crowfield Golf is in very good hands. And I'm very proud of where it is and where it's going. And that brings us back to a place where we kind of started tonight. And in many ways, the place where it began for our city. Recreation. Having a world-class recreation department has been the goal for more than one city council. It's been the goal for more than one mayor for many, many years in the city of Goose Creek. Imagine for a moment if the leaders of the burgeoning town of Goose Creek, who literally incorporated this town in 1961, we're not that old, could see what our city recreation facilities look like now. A community center that rivals and is a much better deal than any fitness center around. A gymnastics facility that is the best in the region, and when I say region, I don't mean the Tri-County region, I mean the Southeast. An excellent and now profitable golf course, places to congregate and celebrate, places for fellowship and friendship and family. And it's going to get better. In a few weeks, I'm thrilled to announce that the ground will be broken on a new Transcendent recreational facility. The 13-acre, fully accessible Central Creek Park will be placed on Old Monks Corner Road at the site of the former Eubanks Park. This is a game changer. And it's a game changer that lifts up every child, disabled and abled alike. It's a park that will be the pride of our city. In addition to the state-of-the-art playground, the park will have a beautiful pavilion, the new Casey Pavilion, that will connect this glorious facility within the community it serves. There will be space for a weekly farmer's market, for food trucks, for pickleball. You guys know how I like the pickleball. For basketball, for young and old to congregate. The park is a natural extension of our Recreation Department's Therapeutic Recreation Division that has already touched so many lives. In 2021, we became the first municipality in the state to own an adaptive tandem bicycle, a barrier-free tool giving individuals who physically cannot ride a bicycle the experience of being able to do so. This park will serve Goose Creek, and it will serve Berkeley County. Our county is home to over 25,000 children and adolescents and living with physical or mental health challenges. Almost 11% of residents 65 age and younger face some type of developmental difference, including 10% of Goose Creek's population. Yet there are no accessible parks in our county. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about to change. While we're talking recreation, I want to publicly thank our Recreation Director, Crystal Reed. There she is up there. For the incredible job that she and her team are doing. That team includes Nicole Herrera-Murray, who is now Crystal's assistant director, who did such an outstanding job with the therapeutic program. I want to emphasize our commitment to therapeutics, and it comes from the top, it comes from the council, and it goes throughout our entire organization. And I want you to understand the uniqueness of that. Therapeutic programs are not nearly as common as you might think. In our region, only Charleston and Mount Pleasant boast comparable programs. In fact, statewide, only Greenville, Columbia, and Rock Hill have comparable programs. All of those cities are twice the size of the city of Goose Creek. I want to commend our council for their commitment to serve the underserved, regardless of their address. The City of Goose Creek Gymnastics program has grown each year since the facility was built in 2018, led by our coordinator, Brittany LaRoche. It's always good to see Brittany. Brittany came to me the other day, well, a couple of months ago, and she said, "We need more space." I said, "You're not getting more space." I said, "How many do you have in the program?" She said, 550. She says, "There's 500 on the waiting list." I said, "Double the price." She did not double the price. These are jokes. We are here to serve. The program has over 550 plus active gymnasts, 86 of whom participate on the competitive team. There are 10 teams, with the newest team being our first ever boys team created in 2021. And here's evidence that Frank helps me write the speech. He writes, "If only a boys gymnastics team had been available in the early 1970s, perhaps I would have naturally gravitated to the sport myself." Perhaps, Frank, perhaps. Goose Creek Recreation has played a major role in the emergence of what we call Creek art. In 2021, I made the real commitment to art by hiring Barbara Richardson as our art coordinator. Creek art can be found on murals at our new graffiti park, on the crosswalk at the Municipal Center, on traffic boxes and banners. Creek art is an attitude, and I like it. We don't talk about art anymore in Goose Creek, do we, Barbara? No, we do not. We believe in its role in our community, and we create art, and we support the artistic community, and we want to see more and more and more of it. A few months ago, we celebrated the 60th anniversary of Goose Creek's Incorporation, and with that in mind, I want to say a special message and appreciation to a man all of you know well, my predecessor as mayor, Dr. Michael Heitzler. Last year, as he always has, Mayor Heitzler, in his own unique and fun and wonderful way, again shared our city history to all of those who cared to go and listen, and I can tell you the house is always packed. His history lectures are a treasure of information, and Mayor Heitzler is a treasure to the city of Goose Creek. Tonight, I want you all to know that at my direction, the entire history lecture series performed by Mayor Heitzler last fall was professionally filmed. And those video productions are being prepared now and will soon be shared and available for all residents on our city website. Now, to be clear, this doesn't let Mayor Heitzler off the hook. He still has to come and teach. He still has to come and give the history lectures. And we expect that in 2022, but it does allow his work to be shared with the world and be preserved for future history seekers. I do thank Mayor Heitzler for his continued passion and his time and his energy and for his love of our city. And as we leave one another tonight, we know that one day this chapter of Goose Creek's history will also be recorded. What will we do with our chapter? What will we make of our moment? How will we be remembered? New restaurants, new parks, new businesses, all these things are important. But I'm reminded of the words of Pericles. I'm reminded that what you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but it's what is woven into the lives of others. And one day, when our moment is over, let it be said that we worked together, that we strove for something better, that we included everyone, that we lifted every voice and we sung together. Resounding loud as the rolling sea, woven into the lives of others in a hometown that we all love. It is our hometown of Goose Creek, South Carolina. Thank you all very much for coming out tonight. God bless all of you, and God bless our hometown. Too long? Yeah, that's all right. Right on time, Brandon says. I really do very much appreciate everybody coming out. Elaine, thank you very much for coming out tonight and seeing what we have going on here. Yeah, we're not doing questions, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I understand. No, ma'am, I understand. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I understand. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Again, thank you all very much for coming out tonight. I'm happy to stop and have a conversation with any of you who would like to do so. In fact, we probably should not do that. Anybody have any questions for me? I'm happy to take some. $73. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody coming.